Released on June 19th, 2026, and being the fifth installation to the franchise, Toy Story 5 is the latest movie from Pixar and Disney. Seeking to be more relevant to modern audiences, the movie delves into where a toy exactly fits into a world where technology has taken over children's attention. This movie is probably the best film to come out of Pixar and Disney in the last several years, but it is still riddled with issues that prevent it from being on par with the first three films. I'm Tom the Wizard Man, and this is the Fake Wizards review of Toy Story 5. If this video provides you any value at all, please like and subscribe, as we are making many reviews every single week. The story of Toy Story 5 is about the toys trying to help their kid, Bonnie, make friends. While Bonnie is able to play with the toys perfectly fine, she's awkward in connecting to the other kids her age. And where in older times, kids would be able to connect through playing outside, practically all of her peers are now absorbed into playing with technology. In an effort to try and help Bonnie connect with her peers, her parents buy her a lily pad, a tablet allowing her to use social media and play games with other kids her age. Unfortunately, the lily pad begins to take up all of her time, where she no longer plays with her toys and isn't really connecting to the other kids. As a result, the toys take action in trying to ward off lily pad and assist in finding Bonnie a real, actual friend. The story is split into three different plots that converge towards the beginning of Act 3. The main plot of the movie is about Jessie trying to help Bonnie, as Bonnie's new obsession with technology reminds Jessie of her past and abandonment from her original owner in Toy Story 2. During a mix-up at a slumber party, Jessie's brought back to her original home, where she has to figure out a way to not only make it back to Bonnie, but also find her a real friend. The other two plots involve a horde of modern tech Buzz Lightyears that washed up from a broken shipping container trying to find a way to Star Command, and Woody and Buzz also trying to help Bonnie, but basically do nothing. The vocal performances in this movie I've found to be fine. The voice cast reprises their roles as the toys from the previous movies, and while I know a lot of people are saying, oh, Jessie sounds too old, I didn't think it was that bad. I'd say for comparison's sake, Incredibles 2's voice cast sounded a lot more older than Jessie in this. Right off the cusp. I think this is a good movie. There are a lot of moments in here that feel reminiscent of an older Pixar. The angle that they took with the technology story, I think, was done pretty well. Bonnie connects to kids over the lily pad only to come to the realization that they're not really her friends. They make fun of her for still playing with toys, and it's like, yeah, the people you connect on the internet are not necessarily your friends. They don't have their best interests for you, and sometimes they suck. The plot device of 50 Buzz Lightyears I thought was odd, but enjoyable. I think Jessie's story was done well. Her taking Bonnie's change in behavior more personal because of her being given up by her original owner, and the conclusion to that, I think was done well. I enjoyed it. This movie would be an 8 if it wasn't for the third plot with Woody and Buzz. Despite being a focal point in all of the trailers and marketing, Buzz and Woody feel extremely shoehorned in. Like, they had to be included because the executives demanded it, and in response, the writers got upset, so they made them the butt of every single joke at every chance they got. Woody and Buzz really do not do anything. Woody could be cut out of this movie, and it would play out basically the same. Buzz's story is trying to muster the courage to ask Jessie to marry him, but very early on they set up this idea of Buzz feeling insecure about filling the shoes left behind Woody as the leader and protector of the toys, and then they proceed to do absolutely nothing with it. Jessie sneaks into Bonnie's luggage for the sleepover and leaves Buzz to take care of the toys, but that gets immediately undermined from Woody showing up. There's one moment where Buzz hops on the back of the car because he believes that Woody thinks he can't help in the situation, and that's really it. He leads the army of Buzzes at the end when they all convene, but they had already thought that Jessie was Star Command from the picture and likely would have taken her command anyway. Some of the jokes they make about Woody and Buzz are funny, sure, but watching it, you see it reach the point where they do it at every single moment they can. It's fine until it's not. Woody and Buzz are Toy Story. They are the protagonists. So when you take the protagonists, the characters you grew up with, and belittle them at every single turn, it feels wrong. It's not as in your face or as malicious as in other properties like Star Wars, but it still is present if you're actually paying attention. Woody has his moment saving a toy in the beginning of the film, and the rest of the movie, it's, you're old, Woody, you're bald, Woody, you're fat, Woody, every single moment. The message they're conveying about technology isn't bad, but it feels incomplete. The main thing being the parents letting Bonnie get to the point that she did. In the beginning, the parents mention how they were holding off on getting her a lily pad, but then do nothing to try and curb the bad habits associated with it. Throughout the movie, we see Bonnie turn basically into a zombie, locked into the screen, and they say, okay, screen time's up, but don't actually take it away or get her to do something else. When they first give it to her, they say something to the extent of only allowing her to have a certain amount of screen time per day. When Buzz and Woody are messing with the tablet, they find that there is a setting to manually set how long screen time is. If they were hesitant in getting her a tablet because of how technology could affect her, why aren't you using the tools built in to try and prevent it from being a problem? Or just be like, hey, screen time's over, go play outside, go play with your toys. There is no scene of that. The presentation is at odds with each other because they want to show that Bonnie's parents are good parents, but they still feel negligent. Case in point, look at Inside Out. Riley's parents don't completely notice the issues that Riley's going through because they're wrapped up in different stages of moving into the new house and juggling work, and they know she's upset about having to move away from her friends. In this, Bonnie's parents are just also on their phones. We don't get a scene where they're too busy to have noticed how technology was affecting their daughter. They're just kinda neglectful, and only take notice when Bonnie's in literal tears from being insulted by the people she thought were her friends. This movie isn't bad, but it's still unnecessary. Toy Story 5 is better than Toy Story 4, but you guys still didn't need to make Toy Story 4 or 5 to begin with. Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 is a complete trilogy. It's a complete story. You didn't need to make more. And to add on top of that, this movie feels like it was made for the people that grew up with Toy Story more than actual kids. Jessie's entire arc in this is heavily reliant on you having that emotional connection to her backstory in Toy Story 2. I hope that parents are showing their kids Toy Story 1 and 2 because they are good movies, but I don't think they're going to have that same connection as you or I would having grown up with it. I think the best case scenario for Toy Story is to stop now. Stop making them. You're good at 5. It ends on a high note. There's realistically nowhere else to take the series other than killing the toys or passing them off again, which would just be a rehash of 3. The best thing that Pixar can do is what they were doing, and that was making Toy Story shorts. They had the one about Rex becoming a Partysaurus, the one where they got stolen in the motel, and the Christmas one with the dinosaurs. The formula of having little entries into the universe for short stories works perfectly because there really is no other main story to tell. This movie feels like a special, and it should have been. They very well could have done like a solo Jessie special that would have been 45 minutes to maybe an hour, and it would have worked better because you would have been able to tell the story you wanted to tell without shoehorning in and belittling Buzz and Woody. You could have made your solo Jessie movie. I like this movie, but it definitely has issues, and as a result, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. Now prepare yourself for the biggest plot hole in this movie. A big part of this movie is that Jessie's original address is on her leg for her to be delivered to. In Toy Story 2, they make a big deal about how Big Al has meticulously collected all of the pieces of the Woody's Roundup collection to the highest quality. And in that scene, they make it a point to show that Andy's name is painted over. So with that in mind, there is no way that Jessie's original address would have been left on her leg. Big Al would have 100% had that scrubbed off or painted over. Anyways, what did you think of Toy Story 5? Did you enjoy it? Let us know in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.